All right, thank you all for joining us on Good News Southern Gospel. Today, we are so excited to bring you yet another episode of the series, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's been another good week.
Yes.
And so, we got another episode out last week. If you haven't checked out our interview with Pat Barker, honestly, one of our
Probably
favorites.
my favorite interview.
Yeah.
But we have a new interview every week, so we're excited today to announce the first female vocalist we've ever had on the show. Ever.
Including the first time we did this and NASA.
We always stuck to quartets and, quartet.
Not on purpose, it's just kind of the way it
kind of the way
out.
it fell. But
so
we're excited to have Amber Nelon Thompson on the show today. She'll be calling in soon. Phenomenal voice. They're on Gaither shows all the time. The Nelons. And so we're really excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll get into just a little bit here. Before we get really far into the show, I've had a few people ask me, I don't know, maybe you've had a few people ask you too.
Definitely.
Like they've watched a few of our videos, they've seen what we do. But they ask me, why are you doing this? Mm-hmm. What's your goal? What's your purpose behind it? Mm-hmm. And so I just want to take a couple seconds here, not real long, but just kind of let you know why we do this. What is our... obviously, it's not to get fame and fortune because we're getting paid nothing to do this.
Yes.
But what I always tell everybody...
We do this early, too.
So it's not to get extra sleep or anything.
Right now, it's 2 a.m. I'm just kidding. It's not that early.
But what I always tell people is that for me, I'm not saying it is, but Southern Gospel is often viewed as a dying breed of music.
Yep.
Like I said, I don't think it is. But it's viewed as it's an older...
Something that's falling off,
right?
And not...
And so we wanted to have a couple younger guys in our 20s who obviously love the music, love the people in the music, and wanted to get that out in front of folks a little bit more. Also,
another thing is, and what we were just talking about not too long ago, is there's nothing like what we do. There's a lot of great news.
Absolutely.
People out there, especially with like gospel music today, scoops, singing news, all that stuff. There's some great stuff out there. At the same time, we wanted to bring you more like a blog type. Pretty much what we're doing. So where, we're giving out opinions, we're doing interviews and stuff that everybody else does. At the same time, it's more relaxed, it's more... chill. Younger guys are doing it. You don't see a lot of people, young people in Southern Gospel music. So we just wanted to bring that back and show that there are young people out there that love Southern Gospel music.
Because there are. We know them.
Absolutely.
They're our friends.
They're our immediate friends. It's just our little group. There's like 5 of us.
No, seriously. And so we wanted to spread this out, and we felt like doing a video series, just like what we do, was the best way to spread out to maybe a newer audience the greatness that is Southern Gospel music. Absolutely.
And so we thank you all for watching us, staying in tune with us, and submitting questions every week, just everything. I mean, it's been phenomenal.
And every week on our YouTube channel, we have upped, I don't know if you followed this or not, we have upped the number of subscribers.
Yeah. That's a big thing. Subscribe, and we haven't been telling you all that.
Because the benefit to doing that, when you subscribe to a channel,
you always get
get the updates. Yep. Yeah. So whenever we update a new video or something, you'll always know about it. Yeah.
And so you'll get a notification or whatnot. And so subscribe to us on YouTube, and we're going to start posting the videos on Facebook as well. So look forward to that.
There's plenty of ways you can follow us. All right.
So we're getting into the news now with Good News Southern Gospel. And first of all, there were a couple of things. Just like any industry or anybody in life, we're humans. We have heartaches, we have griefs, things that happen that are unexpected, that are hard for us to deal with. And we send our love and support and prayers out to the Fouch family, Rory and your family. We love you. Joey passed away previously. And we do send our prayers out to you. Phenomenal Christian duo, Christian country duo. And so we do send our condolences out to you. Absolutely. And prayers to you. Also, something that sometimes comes in our life that we don't understand trials. And we don't understand those trials sometimes. But a good friend of mine, Mike Helwig, was just diagnosed with PLS, which is a form of ALS. And pretty much what it is it's just progresses a lot slower than ALS. Pray for Mike. As of right now, we know that there is no cure for ALS. And so that is a real heartbreaking news. And we love you, Mike. We're praying for you. We know that God can do miracles. And we know that God wants you on this earth. But if he chooses to take you home, then obviously it's God's will. But we're praying for you, man. And we love you, and we send our support to you. So, and I've had the privilege of sharing the stage with Mike. Mike's an amazing guy. Yeah. Sings the lead for the Blackwood Brothers. Phenomenal voice. If you haven't had a chance to hear the Blackwood Brothers, go hear them. 100-year-old legacy, I believe.
Which is
insane.
insane.
So it's phenomenal. So, Mike, praying for you guys and praying for the Feek family.
So, in the news, to let you kind of know a little bit what's going on. First thing, and we're going to hit these and just kind of move on.
Yep.
First thing is that Tim Parton is leaving the Jim Brady Trio.
I am upset.
Yeah.
I'm upset, Tim.
Yeah.
He's such a good guy. I love Tim.
Great musician.
Absolutely.
Great arranger.
Phenomenal. Great vocalist. When I first heard him, because, everybody was familiar with him from playing with all the big groups.
Gold City, the Gaithers.
Just
Legacy 5.
Everybody pretty much. And no one really, you heard him sing here and there, but no one really heard him sing. And I heard him sing first on the Legacy 5 CD.
Yeah.
He did God's Been Good.
God's Been Good.
And it was just phenomenal. And you're like, man, this guy's got a voice.
Right.
Well, then he came on the scene with a group with Jim Brady Trio.
Yeah.
And just blew us all away.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's very sad, but God has plans for Tim, and obviously he's prayed about it. And so we love you, Tim, and we appreciate your music through the years and everything like that. And we look forward to seeing
on Facebook. Yeah, speaking of look forward, he did post on Facebook today. Now this is recorded on Thursday. What is today's date? The
17th.
Yeah. So he did post on Facebook today that he is going to be announcing what he's doing.
So that's really interesting.
So be following that.
Maybe another group. I don't know.
So we'll see what happens.
So what happens?
For right now, Gnsg is filling in with them.
Yep.
To fill in their dates. Speaking of Gus, a big change for him. This is great. He has been named as the Soundgarden music director.
Yeah. Of the whole label. And
that's incredible.
That's really big. They got some great groups on there, including the Ball Brothers.
Yeah.
And obviously he's got some great groups to work with. And I think he's going to do a phenomenal job because Gus is a great producer. He's produced a lot of the L5 CDs.
Yeah.
Help produce them. And so I think he's going to do a great job at that.
Yeah. So
I'm looking forward to seeing.
So I'm going to follow that as well.
Yeah. As far as what the groups come out with their CDs on that label and whatnot.
Okay. So. Yeah. And then one last thing that you can check out now. The Brian Free and Assurance brand new album, Live Like We're Redeemed, was just released this past Friday. So make sure you go check that out.
Yes.
So anywhere you can buy that, Christian bookstores, their online store for sure.
Which today is Monday, so this past Friday.
Yeah.
Today is Monday the 21st.
Yeah.
I had to count days.
The day that you are watching this should be the 21st, or after that.
Yes. So you definitely want to get Brian Free, obviously, and it's going to be very interesting because they don't have Jeremy.
As a trio, yeah.
And so kind of upset about that, but no, they're amazing. I saw them as a trio recently, actually, they're still phenomenal.
Yeah.
So
check them
I'm excited about that. Yeah, they always have great music. Every CD they have is just
phenomenal.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
And they said that this is the same type style that they've been putting out for the last 5 or 6 CDs. So
check them out. All right, now it's time for our top 3 segment, and this week we're doing the top 3 bass singers.
Yeah, bass singers.
So number 1 is Stephen McJunkin. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you so much.
He's actually a really good bass singer, y'all.
The best of the bass singers, the lords of the low notes.
No, you're not.
No,
what we're doing the top 3.
Yeah.
I was like, huh? Because we're talking about you. We're talking about you singing.
Yeah, no.
You like how I look at you and it's just like, no, you're not. No, he's really good. Maybe in the future. But.
Oh, man.
So anyway, okay, we're doing our top 3. So we just discussed this, and we wanted to make notice of bass singers that either have passed on or are not currently singing with the group anymore, because there's so many good bass singers out there. And my top 3, we're just going to do these real quick off the top of our head. Previous bass singers, either that are passed away or just not singing with any group anymore.
Yeah.
My number 3, I'll just knock them out real quick. Rex Nelon, phenomenal bass singer. Number 2, J.D. Sumner.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah, and then number 1, we'll both have same number 1, George Younce.
Yeah.
So phenomenal bass singers, just set up the legacy for everybody.
Yeah.
And just great. And so, Steve, what are yours?
The anchors of the Southern Gospel world, the bass singer. My number 3, 2 of mine are still living, so I went a little more recent. Number 3 is Jeremy Lyle, just left.
Phenomenal bass singer.
Love his style. Number 2 is Tim Riley.
Okay.
Love Tim Riley.
Which he's still appearing occasionally with Gold City whenever he can.
Right.
But he is not the current
full-time,
bass singer of Gold City.
Love Tim Riley.
Yeah.
Man, so many iconic songs. It's not even funny. And then, of course, number 1, George Younce. The best ever. Best there ever will be, I think. Just on and off stage. I mean, we both agree with that, I think. So.
Absolutely. So, I mean, those are our top 3 of the past and previous.
So our current ones, our current favorites.
Our current ones, and we'll spend a little bit more time. I mean, not too much, but we'll just talk about them a little more. What is your number 3?
Yeah, I love this guy, Tim Duncan. I'll go ahead and just say it.
Really?
I spend so much time setting up.
He's
I'll go
great.
ahead and hit him.
He's a phenomenal
Tim
bass
Duncan.
singer.
He is right now. I think he is my favorite bass soloist. Okay. My other 2 guys I like a little bit better. Although my second guy I kind of do too. Anyway, But no, I love Tim Duncan. Right now he's with Canton Junction.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. He was with
Formerly
Ernie
Haas.
Yeah. So I love Tim Duncan. Got a great voice.
Great bass.
Does a great job selling a song when he's singing it. I love him. So yeah, Tim Duncan.
And phenomenal guy, Tim Duncan. There's a lot of guys that once again we always forget, and we're like, oh man, I forgot about him.
Yeah.
I actually do though. I have a tie for number 3. So we're gonna put. Yeah, I can do a tie at least, just because I love Paul. Paul, you're a great guy. Paul Harkey.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, of Ernie Haas and Signature Sound, current bass for Ernie Haas, and then Matt Fouch.
Okay.
So, which we just had an interview recently with him. Yeah. So those guys would be my tie, and I told Matt at NQC that he was one of my favorite bass singers.
Yeah.
And
and I know I'm going to get myself in trouble because I told both Matt and Pat when they were here that they were a couple of my favorite bass singers, which is true.
See, you can have top 10 though, you know.
Right.
So we're doing top 3.
So
included you, Matt, because I love you.
They would probably be, I think they would be 4 and 5 on mine. Okay.
Which that makes sense.
Okay, I'm not telling you which order.
I got Paul. I got Paul and
Matt.
And Matt as number 3. So you number 2.
Okay, my number 2. This guy is one that fell out of probably would not have even been in my top 10, and recently came back into it. Okay. Ian Owens.
Okay. Dude, Ian, my boy.
I love him with Sold Out.
Yeah,
he is so good. To hear him on just about anything that Sold Out does.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal.
He's got his own sound. He's got his own uniqueness. Does.
And that's what I was going to say. So my number 2, I love his solo voice too. He's got a great solo voice. Good.
So if you heard him sing, what's that big power ballad? Arise, My Love.
Oh yeah.
Dude. Just that song in general by Sold Out is phenomenal.
Beast.
But anyway, so Ian Owens, your second. My second, and you may have forgot him, or he may be in here, or you just may not have. So I'm just going to get you in trouble here.
I'm like, I'm sweating. My palms are like...
Number 2, Jeff Chapman.
Okay.
Jeff Chapman, I mean, if you have not heard Jeff Chapman, one of the best bass singers in Southern Gospel. And I could put Tim Riley right up there, and I forgot when you said that just because Tim's phenomenal. Yeah. But Jeff Chapman, just, dude, as a soloist, as that bass singer, when like you hear him, have you ever heard him do No Bones About
Thunderous voice, yeah.
Like
as a bass singer, note, that is the note.
Yeah.
That is the note, right? That when I am practicing singing bass.
Yeah.
That I try to hit.
Well, I still don't understand how you hit that consistently, because the whole chorus is just him going, no about it. You know?
Yeah, it's
and just
like this.
And then he keeps doing it, and it's just like, stop it! You're too good, stop it! So, Jeff, number 2. You're number 1.
Okay, I hate you.
Okay.
My number 1 is Jeff Chapman.
So, okay. All right.
No, I did not forget about it.
I'm glad he was in your top 3.
Yeah.
I was kind of worried there.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out who your number 1 is, because I love Jeff Chapman.
Okay.
Like I said, every time Kingdom Heirs, and this is the truth, every time the Kingdom Heirs put out a CD, I immediately search the CD for what is the song where he because he bottoms out on.
Well, I mean,
something.
He's probably one of the lowest bass singers in the industry.
Yeah.
And he just, it's not, like, all bass singers are kind of going to sound burpy at some time, but he's really getting down there and is like, you know.
But it's solid.
Yeah. And you hear the note. It's not like, okay, it's kind of in there.
It's not this gravelly. I mean, it's this. It's just.
He just hits it. Yeah. So, and then I gotta name my friends Brandon Teak and Steve Wagner. You guys are somewhere in my top 100. No, you guys are up there for me, definitely. Brandon, the guy that I sing with.
Oh, that's good.
He's one of my favorite bass singers, so I will say that. Steve's a phenomenal bass singer too. Just guys that I sing with. So I'm just messing. But anyway, so my number 1 is Pat Barker.
Oh, okay.
And now here's the thing. Pat is not the lowest bass.
Yeah.
And I just love he's more of that George Younce type guy where all around his mic work, his just presence on stage is so entertaining, but yet so moving and fun. And he just...
And that's it. That's exactly right.
Good.
He can, within the same concert... Within just a few minutes, he can go from being entertaining, being funny, to moving you to tears with his performance.
Absolutely.
And that ability to sell whatever style of song he's singing is incredible.
Which he's a beast. And Pat, we love you.
Yeah.
My number 1, and you said you're number 1. Well, that's our top 3 for today.
Yeah.
And there's your bass singers, y'all. We're going to go right into this next segment. Let's talk about this, because
this is different.
I may get some flack on this.
This is different, okay? I'm just going to say that. It's different. We were, as always, okay, so we kind of do different roles with the show, right? Daniel is the one, so if you like the interviews, you have Daniel to thank for that, because he sets up all the interviews that we do.
Yeah.
If you don't like the interviews, I'm just
blame me.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice being in the Southern gospel industry and just being able to message or text these guys and be like, hey, you know.
And in all honesty, we're kind of joking,
you know?
but Dan has done a great job getting us some great interviews. We got some huge plans coming up, so
definitely.
we're excited about that. We'll announce it later. But
really excited.
Part of my job is researching stuff that we're going to review. Okay, new projects that are out and whatnot. I came across this one. And immediately the title of this CD, I was like, huh? Because I'd never heard of this before, right? Triumphant Quartet put out an Acoustic CD. It's the name of the CD, Acoustic. Okay? And I saw that. I'm like, what in the world does that even mean? I thought, well, no, I know what acoustic means. But as far as in the Southern Gospel world, I thought maybe they were just going to do like just piano. Acoustic just means not electric, right?
Yes, but when you say acoustic, you think of an acoustic
You usually
guitar.
think, right. And that's what it is, exactly what it is. The entire CD is
that's what it should be.
Them with an acoustic guitar.
Opinion.
No, right. I mean, I don't think... Okay, so I probably should have known what it was.
Okay, I get you. So
but then I'm thinking like...
album.
Yeah, so I've never heard of a Southern Gospel group just doing... Except for maybe like the Isaacs, right? Doing just acoustic.
That's what they do.
But that's what they do, right.
So Triumphant did an acoustic CD, and the guys in Triumphant consist of, I mean, they've been in the group for a long time now, just the same 4 guys.
Right.
And
since they started about 13 or 14 years ago. Same guys.
Literally probably one of the longest tenure groups right now.
I believe it's the longest. The only change has been Jeff Stice leaving a couple years ago.
Yeah, which you still have the same 4 singers. So
yeah,
David Sutton singing tenor.
Yeah.
Clayton Inman singing lead.
Yep.
Scott Inman singing baritone. Scotty.
And by the way, this guy just barely. I was debating on whether or not to include him in my top 3. Eric Bennett. I love him.
He's up there for me too, and that's one of those guys we just forgot.
I didn't forget him. I debated.
Forgot him.
I debated back and forth. I was back and forth.
Eric's so good.
He's
phenomenal MC.
Yeah.
And you normally don't have your bass singer MC, but dude is just so good.
Yeah.
So those are the 4 guys in the group, and obviously we know some of the guys with some other groups and whatnot. But this group together is a powerhouse group.
They are.
However, and we talked about the first. I know, here it comes. And once again, this is opinionated. We talked about the first episode about your opinion on a different group and a different vocalist, then I'm talking. I love the group live. They are phenomenal.
I'm gonna say this. They're one of my all-time.
They're so good live. I mean, their whole program in general is just phenomenal, and I love these guys. Every single one of them. David Sutton has a very unique tenor voice.
It's very different.
Not my cup of tea, personally. But I think he does a great job for the group that he sings with.
Yeah.
And I think he's a great guy, and I think he does great, and he fits well with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay?
He definitely fits.
He's got his own voice. I mean, it's so unique.
To watch him live is entertaining. Mm-hmm. He's a funny guy. They do a song.
Don't say War Out.
No. They do a song where he gets the feature on it.
Yeah.
And on purpose, he's being funny, right? And he's hitting these high notes that sound girly or whatever, and the rest of the group is it's a gimmicky thing, right?
Which they do a lot of gimmick stuff, which is kind of
They
funny.
do. They got their start. Just say this really quickly, and then we got to get into the songs.
What's that song? That's
Triumphant. Old White Flag, that one?
No, there's a couple of them.
But they do that. They do that though, and it's kind of a gimmicky thing. Yeah. But because it's the one where Clayton Inman gets on there and acts like a.
Oh, okay. He does it in a couple of songs.
I don't know what you call it, but he acts like a something. Clayton Inman's a character.
Watch your language. No, just kidding.
No, so. But no, they are very. They got their start actually kind of like Kingdom Heirs did, in a show type setting.
Okay.
I'm wanting to say Silver Dollar City, but I could be wrong.
Cool.
And so then they started. They were in a theater, and that's where they sung all the time. They've since started traveling, and so they get some of their. They put on, in my opinion, one of the best live shows in Southern gospel music I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. They're fun to watch. They're very good live. They put on a great show. Mm-hmm. Include a lot of humor. They include a lot of, but Eric Bennett, again, his MC work is incredible.
It is. And
they'll touch you. They'll bless
very
you.
Good.
As far as the song goes, very interesting mix of songs. They start off with Life's Railway to Heaven, which Oak Ridge Boys.
Yeah, it's famous song.
It kind of has a country gospel feel. The whole thing does. The whole song.
What I really liked on the album, I will say this, the song I really liked is 3 Wooden Crosses, and I want to play a clip of this real quick. 3 Wooden Crosses is a phenomenal song known by Randy Travis.
Randy Travis, yeah.
Yeah, Randy Travis sang that song, made it famous, and they went and did that song in acoustic version. Really good.
Eric Bennett kills it.
Really
so
good. So check this out.
A farmer and a teacher, a hooker and a preacher, riding on a midnight bus bound for Mexico. One was headed for vacation, one for higher education, and 2 of them were searching for lost souls. That driver never ever saw that stop sign, and 18-wheelers can't stop on a dime. And there are 3 wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. Why there's not 4 of them, heaven only knows. I guess it's not what you take when you leave this world behind you. It's what you leave behind you when you go.
Okay, so that was Three Wooden Crosses by Eric Bennett.
Yeah.
So good, so good.
Yeah.
And not the full song, but just a little clip. And anyway, then another song that I really like, which it does feature David Sutton, and I like the feel of the song. I don't know, I'm kind of like in between, but I like the old school feel of the song, like crooner type, the Above the Moon. So that's really cool.
It's really different.
Yeah,
it's a different song.
It's different.
Yeah.
So the tenor kind of does his little thing.
Yeah.
But so anyway, go ahead.
So I like that one too. I like the diversity on the album. They do a couple, and this is just, it hits home for me. They do a couple old cathedral songs. They do I'm Gonna Live Forever.
Yeah, which I did like that one.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
Love that. And they also do Who Can Do Anything.
Yes.
And Eric Bennett does a great job.
Which is George Younce, everybody knew, and him for singing that, and Eric does a great job on that. So overall, great CD. I know it's
really different.
Pretty, but very good. It's got its
Ups
one
and
of those.
downs.
Yeah, it's got its one of those where it's like kind of like okay, and then you're like, oh, this is a really good song. So it's got one of those like you could relax to, and then one that like you could toe tap to.
Absolutely.
So which is a good balance.
Good mix.
So check them out, and that ends our CD review segment. And check them out. And Amber is going to call in very soon with her interview, and we're excited about that. All right, everybody, it's time for the interview segment here at Good News Southern Gospel, and we have on the phone right now Amber Nelon Thompson. Amber, how are you doing today?
I am doing wonderful. How are you guys?
We're doing great. We're doing great. We're excited to have you on the show. We've had Pat Barker, Matt Fouch, John Epley. We've had John Layton. We've had bass singers, and you are the first female. Actually, when we started this series 5 years ago, because it's a reboot now of what we did 5 years ago. When we started it, we still have never interviewed a female artist until today.
Well, I am just so honored.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you being on the show with us because we got a lot of things to talk about, especially there's a lot of things going on in your life right now, right?
Yeah, we are going crazy over here, just busy with so much stuff, but we're excited. The future looks so bright, so we're just having a great time just living life right now.
Awesome. And we love your family. Your family's phenomenal singers. Got a phenomenal legacy with your grandfather, and it's just phenomenal to see almost the changes and just everything that's happened over the years, from the top singles, from you guys singing just on the biggest stages. It's just awesome to see y'all continue the legacy.
Well, thank you. We are proud of our legacy, and of course we're proud of my grandfather, and so it's an honor for us to be able to carry it on, and we just know that God has blessed us, more than we ever deserved.
Awesome. That's awesome. Amber, I will say this: you are currently signed to the Day One label for being a solo artist, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you have your newest solo album, and go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah, it's called Just Sing. It came out last year in July. And it was an album that we worked on for about a year and a half, trying to get it ready and picking songs that we felt like fit. And it was something that I had never done before. It was my first solo project as an adult. I've done 2 solo projects as a child, with Dayland.
Wow.
And but I'd never done one as an adult, and we just felt like it was time. And my family kept telling me, you need to do this. I was kind of unsure because I've always been with my family. I've never done anything on my own.
Yeah.
So it was a little different for me, but I was excited to do something different than what people hear me do with the Nelons. And so we looked at different songs, and of course we've listened to several hundreds of songs, trying to choose the right ones. And Jason wrote 3 different songs on there.
Wow.
And he also produced the album, so we're very proud of that. He's an incredible arranger and producer,
Absolutely.
And he's also an incredible writer as well.
Absolutely.
And
I was actually just talking to him previously. about producing an album for my group, the Third Row Boys, and he's just phenomenal at what he does. He's so good.
Oh, he is. He definitely knows his stuff, and he's up to date with everything, and so he's just incredible all the way around. And I ended up doing, I was able to do 2 duets, one with Joseph Habedank, and the other one was with Michael English,
yes.
which I was thrilled to do with both of them, and Michael, especially because he's just a star.
Yeah.
He's just, he's a superstar, and to me, when he's in the studio, I kept looking over at him like, are you really standing here right now? Are you for real? Like, can I just touch your face to make sure that you're a real human being?
That's awesome.
But in my eyes, he's still just a superstar, and of course he doesn't think of himself that way by any means. But they're both incredible singers. And then Bill Gaither made an appearance on there. He's singing on there.
Wow.
And in fact, my single right now called "Sing Along" features Bill. So that's the one that he's on.
That's awesome.
But it was so fun, to be able to do something like that, and it was an honor. And I was just blessed with really good songs. I'm blessed with an incredible label in Dayland. They are the best, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And they are like family. I mean, I did the 2 solo albums with them when I was a kid, and so it just felt natural and right to go back to them and do it as an adult. And they're nothing but family to me, and they're like that with everybody. But
they
of
really
course, we
are.
have a long history, so it's a little bit more of a bond. But thankful for them, and the album's been doing great, and I'm just really proud of it.
And awesome. I mean, you should be, because the single that you singled a couple months ago, "Another Time in Another Place." Steve, you want to go ahead?
And Amber, I'm actually just getting introduced to your music, and I love it.
Thank you.
And I heard the song Daniel just mentioned, "Another Time, Another Place," and I don't just throw this out there. I mean, I listen to a lot of music. I was blown away by that song. It's just incredible. Can you talk a little bit about you did a little bit about talking about singing it with with Michael, but what was the collaboration process as far as, because it's an insane arrangement, rendition of that song.
It's phenomenal.
Well, when we first, we do a tour with Michael. It's called the Sing Tour.
Yes.
And we did the Greatest Hits Tour with him, and we're continuing that on. We're doing the Sing Tour with him. And we have many nights on the bus. We're very, a lot of people think that we just off the stage and that's done, but it's really, we all get on the bus and we critique ourselves and we say, okay, what can we do better? What are things that we feel like we just did not hit tonight with the people? What are something that and we always, at least for us, that's what we do.
Yeah.
And we feel like it makes us better as performers and ministers, awesome. And all the way around. And Michael always rides our bus when we do the tours with him. And when we were talking about doing a duet, we were trying to find that song. And we were critiquing ourselves that night and saying, well, this is how we sound, and this is what we can do, and this is what we don't want to do. But what is the perfect song for us? And for me, when I think of Michael English, and I think of what I remember falling in love with his voice about, was the era of the late 80s, early 90s music. And I felt like if we were going to do a duet, as much as I would love, to do a new song, I felt like it almost just did not feel right. I felt like we needed to do something around that era that would fit him, that I could mold to.
Yeah. Wow.
And
that's cool.
And we tried to find something. We just kept searching these different songs, and nothing really fit. And just out of the blue, I'm a huge Sandy Patty fan. Huge Sandy Patty fan. And so on my phone, I was just kind of going through songs thinking that maybe there's something on here that, I'll just find. And I saw Another Time, Another Place, and I started playing it, and Michael looked at me and he said, I've got chills. And I said, me too.
Wow.
And he said, that's the one. That's the one we have to redo.
Cool.
And so we both just knew that it was just like a God moment. That was just like like, okay, this is it.
Wow.
And listen to the words of that song.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't not be moved by those
absolutely.
lyrics.
Absolutely.
And so Michael is also a great arranger. And when he came into the studio, I told him, I said, look, just take over today. You take over and you tell me what you want to do. And he said, I don't want to change it that much. He said, because the song itself is just, the arrangement was great to begin with. The only thing that, we could do is just a few little things that could make it our own. But for the most part, I don't want to change it. And so we didn't. We're a firm believer in if something's good and it's successful, why would you go and change it?
Mm-hmm.
And so we just did very few things that just basically made it, us. And but for the most part, we kept the song the way it is, and we just tried to pay tribute to Sandy and Wayne Watson, of course.
Wow. That's awesome. And I just know the first time I heard it, I actually heard it on the radio, and it just blew me away because at first I was like, who is this girl? And I had heard you before. I've been to concerts. We met briefly at NQC and whatnot, and I knew your voice, and I knew it was like literally probably one of the best female voices I've ever heard.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I was just trying to, when you hear a song on the radio, you try to pick out the person, and I was like, who is this person? Then I hear Michael come in, so I'm like, okay, this has got to be someone that sings, with the Gaithers and whatnot on Gaither shows. And then I looked it up, and it was you, and I was like, holy cow. Like, it was just phenomenal arrangement. I'm just crazy. So,
well, thank you. We really were. That day in the studio when we got done, I will never forget listening back and all of us just in tears.
Yeah.
And thanking God. Especially with Michael, he listening to the lyrics, he said, "Look, just how far he's come, and with all the stuff he's been through in his testimony."
Yeah.
And we are so proud of him. And more so, I'm proud to be able to sing with him on a stage and a platform, and to think how far God's brought me in my life, and how much He's blessed me. And when we sing with the Gaithers and stuff, that's the thing that goes through my mind is just, I'm only 27 years old, and God has blessed me so much. And I couldn't ask for a better life. And that song with Michael was just one of those moments where I was just so proud. And it will go down in history as, if not my favorite, one of my favorite duets of all time.
Wow. Well, definitely in my, my opinion as well, one of my favorite duets that I've ever heard in Southern Gospel. So definitely a great job on it. Amber, just phenomenal CD. I was listening to it the other day. Altogether, your solo CDs are amazing. And it's cool because, I feel like everybody, especially that's known Southern Gospel for a long time, has almost watched you grow up, From seeing you, I remember seeing the old videos of you singing Jesus. I heard you had a big house on the Gaither show, and then going to, just seeing you get older. It's really cool to see how well your voice has developed.
Yeah,
and sure. I just remember a couple years ago seeing you sing. What's the song that you guys sang with David Phelps at the camp meeting?
Yeah, we did My Savior's Love.
My Savior's Love, okay. That's what it was. And it just remember watching you sing that song on that DVD. I was just like, man, this girl's going places. Like, she's got it. So, you just do it, you and your family, and Autumn, too. Autumn's got an incredible voice, and you and your family are just phenomenal singers, and obviously we all appreciate that, and we appreciate what you do in your ministry and what you guys do for the sake of the gospel, which is the most important thing, So.
Oh, it totally is, and we appreciate everything that y'all do, because without you, our music wouldn't get out there, and we're proud of our music, and we, of course, we do it only to put the gospel out there in front of more people and as many people as we can.
Amen.
And not only that, but to minister to the people that are hurting, that are of the body of Christ, and we just want to help them and bring hope. I think that's our biggest thing this year, that we all agreed that last year was just kind of like a common theme, and it isn't just with us. It became like a common theme everywhere, but the title of Nelon's new album is called Stronger Together. And we are such a firm believer in that, and not just in our own group, but in our whole genre industry.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's easy to be competitive, and it's easy when you get on a stage with other groups to be like, okay, well, we got it,
Yeah.
This person did good, and other people will just be like, well, we got to do a big ballad to end this song. And really, it's all about uplifting Christ. It's not about us. It's not about what we can do at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, we're nothing without Him. And if we get up there and try to pretend that we are, well, you're going to get off, with nothing. And those people are going to leave with nothing.
Yeah.
But maybe a little bit of entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are just firm believers in that we're just all stronger together as the body of Christ. We're not better by ourselves. We're better when we're a team and when we're doing things for Christ. And that's the theme of our whole entire album. That's the theme of our tours. And really, that's the theme even when we're out with Bill and Gloria. All of us on that stage are a family. And when we're off the stage, we're the same way that we are on the stage.
Yeah.
And we watch each other go through hardships in life, and we pray for one another, and we rejoice in the happy times. And so, we truly are stronger as the body of Christ, and we're a firm believer in that, and that's really the message that we're trying to speak louder this year than anything else.
And I mean that's phenomenal. You said it right there. I mean that's the reason why we do what we do is to get the gospel out once again, and it's just that's the main focus. And I noticed that when I met your family for the first time, when I met your mother, I do those fun little 60-second interviews at NQC, and when I was just talking to your mom, she's got so like a glow on her face. And it's why you all do what you do, and it was just phenomenal. So we appreciate that. Right now, we're going to actually play a clip that we just talked about, Another Time in Another Place, from that CD, okay?
Okay.
There'll be an everlasting light shining up purest holy white,
and every fear will be erased, burning my spirit another place. Oh, 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 oh. So I'm waiting for another time, another place, where all my hopes and dreams will be captured with one look at Jesus' face. Oh, my heart's been burning, my soul keeps yearning. Sometimes I can't hardly wait for that sweet, sweet someday. Promise left away to another time, another place.
Right, so that was just a short clip of Amber's new song, Another Time, Another Place. So make sure you check out the whole thing for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That album. And Amber, why don't you go ahead and tell them where they can get the album and the website and whatnot?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go to www.ambernelonthompson.com, and you can order the album from there. It's also available on iTunes. It's available at any Christian bookstore
Good.
that you want to go to. But if the best place is probably to go to the website, you can order it immediately.
Okay, there we go. And definitely get your copy. We have Spotify, so we're able to listen to it on that, and Apple Music and iTunes and all that good stuff. So
Techie stuff.
awesome. All right, go ahead, Steve.
All right, so yeah, we did get a few questions off of Facebook. Some of our followers and fans.
Good.
It's things that they want to know from you. So,
Oh, boy.
nothing too difficult. So, Lydia had a question. She said it's kind of a unique question, maybe kind of a silly question, but she wanted to know, what time do you get up in the morning?
What time do I get up in the morning? Well, let's put it this way. Our life is crazy. Our schedules are a lot different than normal people.
Mm-hmm.
we usually start our concerts at around 7 o'clock, and we're done at like 10:30, and then we're eating dinner. So usually we don't get to bed until around 12:30 or 1 when we're settling down. So it just kind of depends. On the road, I think I usually wake up around 10:30.
Yeah.
But really, when I'm at home and I'm able to get in bed, I'm usually up around like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. I go running and get my breakfast in and do all that stuff. So it changes. And then when we're on vacation, it could be noon.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I know how that is, and it's always nice to have, the bus traveling on the road. That way you can, while the driver's driving, that way you can sleep anytime you need to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's always nice. Josh asked, do you plan on singing for the rest of your life, or are there other things that you maybe like to do?
You know what? I plan on singing for the rest of my life,
Good.
and I plan on carrying on what my grandfather started, and then following in my mother's footsteps.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Another thing that I was interested in was I became a Christian counselor and got a degree in it.
Yeah.
And I went to college for 4 years for that, and my family is really big on education and having an education. And I went to a Bible college and decided that with a lot of things that I've been through in my life, I feel like I could help a lot of other people. And I really, really and truly have a huge heart for kids.
Yeah.
I love kids. And anyone that knows me knows that there's a kid nearby in the room with me, I'm usually on the floor playing with it, or him or her, and or I'm just trying to get to know them, or whatever. I really love kids.
Yeah.
And so my degree is in Christian counseling for marriage and family, and specifically designed for children.
Wow.
And so I really plan on singing for the rest of my life, but I hope to one day be able to do that when I'm at home, counseling, and be able to help children in need and kids who have been in, who maybe might be in foster care right now, or who have just been through broken homes, or who might be, struggling in life. That's really what I want to do on a sidebar as well.
Wow, that's awesome. And I did see that when we were just looking, for stuff about the interview and stuff. I did notice that you got the degree in counseling.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing right there,
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Go ahead, Steve.
All right, so JW wanted to know what your favorite Nelons album that you've recorded on is.
Oh, that I recorded on. I always say one, and then we record a new one, and then I say it's this one. So, no. I will say one of my favorites that we ever did that I still listen to today is called "You Are God," and that is the only Nelon album that I was on, and that I think that they've ever done that was kind of praise and worship.
Okay.
And
cool.
we did that because at the time we were worship leaders at our church in Springs, Georgia, and we were leading worship, and we were kind of in a new era in our life, in a new season, and we had been singing these, praise and worship songs and leading the church and different hymns and things like that, and then some of the new praise and worship at the time, and we just felt like, it would be kind of cool to do an album like that, and it was one of my favorites that we'd ever done. It was just something that was different for the Nelons, and I think we're kind of known for that, always doing things that are totally different than what other
awesome.
Groups would probably, figure out and do, but we're kind of like the I don't care group. If it's a good song, it's a good song. And so
That's good.
We did that, and that was been one of my favorites. But I will tell you, the new album that we just recorded, I don't know, it's my favorite right now. It's my favorite that I've ever been a part of, because it's just so different. It's just so unique.
Yeah.
And so I'd have to say, Your God is my favorite until this one released.
Has that new album been released, or when is that coming out?
Well, I'll tell you this much. It was supposed to come out a month ago, and then we went and saw Bill and Gloria.
Okay.
And as you know, they are songwriters.
Yeah.
And they wrote this new song, and I cannot wait for everyone to hear it. They actually wrote it for Lori Feek, who just passed away recently.
Yeah. Wow.
And they wrote it for them, but specifically for her.
Wow.
And Bill asked us to come to the piano while we were at their house. And he said, I wrote this new song, and he said, I want you guys to hear the melody, and I want to hear what it sounds like when you sing it. And so we sang it as a family, and the words will just bring tears to your eyes.
Wow.
And Bill said, you guys have got to record this. You just got to record it, and we agreed. So we stopped all production, and we added this song. And so the new CD should be out in another month, even though we've kind of postponed it. It's worth it.
Wow.
It's for nothing else. It's worth it for this song. And it's actually a 2-disc collection because we have so many songs that we felt like, you know, we have to put this on here. And, you know, so many really good songs. So it's got 15 songs on this album.
That's awesome.
There's 2 CDs. And we want to give, you know, the listener what they want. And I think they feel like it's worth the buy, you know, just for that much music.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time coming, but these songs are worth it. And we've put everything, every ounce of energy, our heart and soul into this album. And our trials and difficulties are all in there, but our triumphs are as well.
Wow.
And all glory goes to God.
Amen.
And we are so blessed with this CD, and we are so proud of it. And we cannot wait to share it with the world. So I promise this will probably be my favorite, and you'll understand why once you hear it.
Once again, I love your spirit, especially as a young Southern gospel. When we talk about this, all the young Southern gospel artists, we talk about this all the time. There's not nowadays there's a lot coming up in the ranks, which is really cool to see. But currently, there's not a whole lot of young people in Southern gospel, so it's really cool to just, like I said earlier, just kind of watch you grow up, and now, you know, this young woman that's just on fire for God.
Yeah.
And I love that. Yeah. And I just remember when you guys recorded the song, There Is a Way, just that song in itself is the gospel, you know?
Yep.
And
yeah,
it's just, it's phenomenal to see you guys just spreading the good news. And Stephen and I actually had the privilege of recording that song, and just because we loved it so much. And
oh wow, that is so cool.
Yeah, you guys. So I love your spirit. So that's why.
Well, thank you. You know, I'm a normal person, just like everyone, and I think that sometimes watching us on stage, people forget that. And you know, I've been through the trials and difficulties, and even just recently, I mean, I have a testimony where I talk about I broke off an engagement 2 years ago. And it was a really trying time in my life. A lot of unanswered questions, a lot of confusion, and a lot of just sadness. And but you know what? I learned so much through that experience. And I am a person who understands that I am no better than anyone else, and I'm only put on a platform because God allowed me to, and He gave me the gift. I didn't earn it myself, and if it wasn't for Him, I wouldn't be up there.
Amen.
And everything that I do is for Him and first, and then for the people second. And I never, ever, ever want to get to the place where I feel like, number one, I deserve it, or number two, where I feel like I don't need anybody, or I don't need any help.
Wow.
And I'm constantly trying to, you know, I'll take criticism wherever it can come. I know a lot of people think that it can hurt feelings, but I don't. I kind of just open up for it and say, yeah, bring it on. I'd love to hear some criticism, whatever you think, you know. People are entitled to their own opinion, and I'm definitely open for learning new things at all times. And I think a lot of that came from my grandfather and my mom teaching me those things, and teaching me to not have to look on my shoulder, and that when you're in this business, you do live in a glass house, kind of like what you watched you grow up. Well, through watching me grow up, you watched me go through happy times and hard times.
Yep.
And you do live in a glass house. And if you're going to do this, you got to be prepared for any type of criticism.
Absolutely.
And and I've just learned to take that with stride and just with a smile and say, you know what, okay, that's fine. You know, I appreciate you saying that, you know. And I think God blesses people more when they have a spirit of just thankfulness and gratefulness, because He's nowhere near our doubts and murmuring and complaining. But, you know, anytime you want to find Him, He's right there where He's always been, if you just praise Him and thank Him for what He's done in your life.
That's
amazing.
That's amazing. And Amber, we're a little bit out of time, but we got 2 more questions. And once again, we appreciate it. But I know exactly what you're talking about. And I had a little trial in my life where I went through, just a phase of drugs and alcohol and just so many things that happened in my life that now I tell my testimony at concerts. And, once in a while you'll have people come up and be like, why are you doing this then? If you had, but like you said, it almost challenges you to keep doing what you're doing because people try to, sometimes cut you down and whatnot, and you can get discouraged. We're human, like you said, but it's just, once again, it's really awesome to see you just keep pressing on, and then that's always just what I've been taught. Just keep going no matter what, because there's always going to be trials, but no matter what, God is the ultimate one that you need to talk about. Yeah.
That's right. So. Exactly right.
All right, so we got 2 more questions. I'm going to do a question. Would you ever, or you got that one? Okay, let's not do that one yet. I'm going to ask a question. Are you considering possibly recording a duet with your sister on a CD?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We've already talked about it. In fact, you'll hear that almost on the new Nelons album, Stronger Together. We do a song called Days of Jericho, and it's a fast, up-tempo song. It kind of sounds a little bit like a Rascal Flatts song.
Sweet.
Kind of what I love that kind of music.
Oh, yeah.
So, in Autumn, of course, her voice just kind of fits the bluegrass genre.
Yeah.
And so we did a duet on that, and of course the Nelons join us. All the whole family joins us on the choruses, but all the verses and all the licks, everything is me and Autumn singing together. And so you'll hear what that sounds like on that album. So definitely.
That's really cool. So we got one more question for you. Go ahead, Steve.
From JW?
No, Josh.
Okay. Josh wanted to know what your favorite hobby is.
Oh, that's easy. I am a huge fan of sports.
Really?
I love sports.
Cool.
I played basketball throughout high school and middle school, and then even played in college. So
Wow.
I'm a huge. And see, a lot of people don't know that about me.
Yeah. Okay.
And I guarantee nobody would think that either.
Yeah. So what's your favorite team? We got to know this.
Well, okay, in college basketball, it's Kentucky.
Yes.
All right.
There we go. Kentucky
All right.
Wildcats.
All right. I'll excuse that. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and in the NBA, I've always been, it's so sad, I've always been a Lakers fan because I'm a huge Kobe Bryant fan. I love watching him play, but he's retiring, so I have found a new love, and that is Steph Curry. He's incredible. Love some Steph Curry.
Yeah, he's good. He's very good.
Yeah, he's incredible. So those are my teams. Those are my basketball teams. But that is my favorite thing to do, is to go play basketball somewhere. And I love it. It's a big stress reliever, and it's great exercise. But I just love the game. And really, I like any kind of sport. I always said in high school, as long as they'll let me play, I'll play it. If it's a sport.
Wow.
So, in high school, we were huge on basketball, and in our area, of course, was huge in basketball. In my team, my senior year, we went 25-0 and won the state championship, and then won the ultimate championship.
Okay, so you're really good. Because I was going to say you want to play one-on-one, but I don't want to now. I was going to ask you if you wanted to. I was going to ask you if you wanted to play one-on-one, but now I don't even want to touch that.
Yeah.
I love it. I really do love it.
So have you?
We try to play anytime we can.
Yeah. So have you filled out your NCAA tournament bracket?
I have, and I have kept winning it all. I have them winning it all, of course. People look at me like I'm crazy, but I'm like, whatever, it's March,
Hey,
he doesn't have a good record, but
it's my team too, and I have them winning it all too. So.
Yeah, Steve's a big Kentucky fan, so that's you guys definitely have that in common.
Good. Go Big Blue, Steve.
That's right. That's right.
I'm from Indiana, right by Illinois, so I'm a huge Illinois fan, but we never do anything. So.
Well, as long as you're not a Louisville or a fan, we're okay with you.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Well,
we're okay with you.
Well, Amber, we appreciate you being on the show today. I mean, it's just been a lot of fun. I know we went a little bit over time, but hey, it's just been a blast. I just love talking to you and almost getting to meet you and know about you a lot more. Definitely hope to see you, at NQC and whatnot again, and maybe doing an interview there and whatnot, talking about any new product that you have. And just looking forward to seeing you around, okay?
Well, thank you guys for having me so much. I'm so honored to be the first female.
I know. It's awesome. And me personally, you are probably one of my favorite female artists out there. Just you almost have that kind of like. You're welcome. And you almost have that kind of like Karen Peck sound to your voice a little bit. And you just kind of remind me of her, except almost like a younger version.
Well, that is a huge compliment. I call her Aunt Karen.
Yeah.
She's our family, so we really are family, though.
Yeah.
I know we're out of time, but we really are. We found out a month ago that her husband is our cousin.
Really?
So we're actually family. Yes.
That's
actually
awesome.
Family.
Karen is phenomenal. I love her. She's
is.
just amazing. And so thank you so much, Amber, once again, and we look forward to talking to you soon, okay?
Thank you, guys.
All right, you have
you.
a good one.
You too.
Wow, what an incredible interview. You talked about last week how that was one of your favorites. That has to be one of my favorite interviews.
Yeah.
Such an enjoyable person to
So
talk to.
real, once again. And everybody we've had on the show has been incredibly real. And, there's a lot of them out there just that love God, and love spreading the good news through music.
Yeah.
And they are incredible. If you haven't had the chance to go hear the Nelons, go hear them. Here's their website, just right up here. And here's Amber's website right there. So we'll put them together. That way you can see both of them. Yeah. And go on YouTube, listen to them. But go hear them in concert. Go see them at NQC.
Yeah.
They're phenomenal. So that is it today for Good News Southern Gospel.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, make sure that you check out their stuff.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely.
It's one thing to just listen to it on YouTube. It's one thing to just listen to them here. The best way to support their ministry is to buy their product, to listen to it on platforms that they actually get money for. Support their ministry.
Yeah. Absolutely. Spotify, iTunes.
Yeah.
Go to their website. Get a physical copy. Those are good to have. You want to have that in your library of music. So anyway, their websites have been up there. And just thank you so much today for an awesome show on Good News Southern Gospel. And this is Steve McJunkins. I am Daniel Rivera. And thank you so much for once again joining us on Good News Southern Gospel.
I'll spread this talk all over town about the peace and joy I found in you. Good news, good news. This story is about to break, and blessed are the feet that take the truth. Good news. I'm slipping on my dancing shoes, 'cause I've got good news. I'm slipping